Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everybody. I hope you still remember that I mentioned to you, starting from last week and throughout until the final week, is going to be asynchronous teaching learning for anatomy and physiology. So for today, I'm going to share with you and explain, also discuss about another topic in anatomy and physiology, which is the urinary system. Okay, so urinary system is a system where you filter everything, okay, in the circulation and get rid of the waste product in your body. So this is some class activity that you can do. I also have attached, okay, label for urine formation for you just to try out after you finish watching this lecture series. You can straight away go to this link in your spectrum and then answer. Okay, try to test yourself and answer everything or structure within the human's kidney. Okay. And in the link as well, try to list several functions of the kidney in addition to urine formation. And you must also be able to describe the location, general appearance, and the features of the kidney, and describe the features of the nephron. Okay, you can learn what nephron is and what are the features of a nephron, renal corpuscle, and renal tubule. And you must also be able to describe the process of the urine formation. So urine is once a blood. So how is it formed? In all the stages it involved from the blood until the urine that you excrete from your body, you must be able to describe those processes. Right, so this is some quick expected learning outcome that you can set your mind to before we go with the lecture. Okay, so by the end of this topic, you must be able to name and locate the organs of the urinary system. There's several functions of the kidneys in addition to urine formation. Name the major nitrogenous waste and identify the sources. And last but not least, define excretion and identify the system that excrete waste. First of all, before we go to the processes, let's see the definition or the function of the kidneys. What are the functions of the kidneys? Okay, so for urination, kidney is the organ that involved, okay, for the process. Okay. So the first one, kidney is to filter the blood plasma, separate waste from useful chemicals, return useful substances to blood, and of course to eliminate waste. And it also function to regulate blood volume, So the volume of blood is controlled by the kidney, and also, of course, the pressure. When you talk about volume, it's always in line also with pressure, because volume of blood will affect the level of pressure within your circulation. So it will regulate your volume and the pressure by eliminating the conserving water. So we're going to discuss that in a bit later. And kidney is also responsible in regulating the osmolarity of the body fluid by controlling the relative amount of water and solute eliminate. The next one is to secrete enzyme. Okay, so kidney also will secrete enzyme, which is renin, which activates hormonal mechanism that control blood pressure, and also will control the electrolyte balance. So renin is responsible for these factors, all the factors I've mentioned here. And the next function of kidney is to secrete hormones. For example, a hormone of erythropoietin. Erythropoietin, if you remember, is the hormones that are responsible for red blood cells production. Okay, so it kind of will secrete erythropoietin. Then this hormone will go to your brain and then ask your bone marrow to produce more erythropoietin. Okay, so it detects in the kidney whether the person is a red blood cell is below standard level, so erythropoietin will start to secrete it within your body, and that's the role of hormones, the roles of kidney to do that. And the next one is collaborate with the lung to regulate the pressure of pressure of carbon dioxide and acid-base balance. Remember, in our previous topic of respiration, I did mention to you the acid-base balance is controlled by both respiratory system and also urinary system in regulating the pressure of carbon dioxide and acid-base balance of the body. So kidneys also is the final step in synthesizing hormones, calcitriol, which contributes to calcium's homeostasis. So there's a many stage in the body system that control or regulate the amount of calcium within your body, and final step is is the kidney. Okay, in the level of kidney where it starts to secrete hormones of calcitriol before it can be sent to the brain and ask the to increase or to uplift the level of calcium within your body. Either it can absorb it from the circulation, from the food that you ingest, food that processed within your body, or it can take or extract the calcium from the bone itself. So there's two sources of this final stage in increase the level of calcium in your body. Okay, and the last one is gluconeogenesis. So kidney is also responsible of gluconeogenesis. Okay, this is where when you are under extreme starvation, where your body no longer have sufficient level of glycogen or fat and also other glucose storage within your body. That's where your body will eat themselves, I would say. So this is a simple terminology that I can relate to. It eats itself by breaking down the amino acid within your body. So that's what we call this as the gluconeogenesis. Okay, gluconeogenesis. Okay, so the body will break down the protein within it and make it turn it into carbohydrate to be utilized as an energy. This is only occur during the starvation phase. The gluconeogenesis is controlled by the kidney as well. So we have discussed about nitrogen. Now let's look into the things that we have discussed about kidney. Now we're going to look into things that the kidney filter, okay, which is the waste. So this is the definition of waste: any substance that is useless to the body or present in excess of the body needs. Okay, sometimes it can be byproduct. Okay, useless. It can be byproducts. Any byproducts. Okay, all the excessive nitrogens, and it's also can be, although it's although it's useful, but when you consume it excessively, it will be excreted through your urine. Okay, by the filtering process within your kidney. So it's not necessarily waste product during the biochemical process within your body. It can also because of the excessive substance that you consume. So metabolic waste is waste substance that produced by the body. So this is the equation of a urea formation: proteins, amino acids, okay, and H2 removed, okay, form of ammonia, and then liver converts to urea. So this is the process of urea formation, simplified version of urea formation. Okay. And then uric acid is also a waste product that produced by our body during the biochemical process. Okay, during the nucleic acid catabolism process, so it produces uric acid. So this is also need to be excreted through the urine. Creatinine. So creatinine is also a waste product that produced by the phosphate catabolism. Okay, it can be detected within your urine. In the breakdown of the creatine phosphate, breakdown when you exercise, at the first few stage before you reach the glycolysis. Okay, the first stage is phosphogenic system. Okay, we use creatine, and creatinine is the byproduct of this biochemical process of first stage in utilizing energy within your muscles. So creatinine can be detected within your urine. Blood urea nitrogen, or BUN. Blood urea nitrogen is expression of the level of nitrogenous waste in the blood. The normal concentration of a blood urea is 10 to 20 milligram per deciliter. Okay. Azotemia elevated BUN. So azotemia is the condition where the blood urea nitrogen is increased, and it indicates renal insufficiency. So it indicates problem in the renal, okay, in the kidney, and kidney doesn't secrete enough renal hormones, okay, to absorb or to get rid of nitrogen. Okay. So it's the condition that the kidney doesn't secrete enough renal. And then uremia is the condition or a syndrome of diarrhea, vomiting, dyspnea, and cardiac arrhythmia stemming from the toxicity of nitrogenous waste. So the only treatment, okay, this is like you know, is the kidney is no longer efficient in in doing certain tasks, and the person have to undergo hemodialysis, and or to some extent if you can get donor, that's where you have to change and do an organ transplant. So excretion, okay, or urinating. Okay, excretion is separation of waste, the body fluid, and elimination of them. Okay, there's excretion, and so these are the 4 body systems that are responsible for excretion. The first is respiratory system, integumentary system, digestive system, and also, of course, the urinary system itself. The carbon dioxide, small amount of other gases and water is responsible to trigger the adrenal cortex, or the kidney itself, to excrete what need to be excreted in order to maintain the pressure within the circulation, and also the volume of the circulation system, and also the pressure of carbon dioxide. So yeah, the second one is integumentary system. Okay, water, inorganic salt, lactic acid, urea in sweat. Okay, high level of water. For example, if you don't sweat too much, or you're in the cold environment, that you rarely sweat, this where your volume in your body tend to become increase. Then this is where you have to excrete through the urine, because the high level of water content in your body produce. So same goes with inorganic salt. Okay, organic salts will increase the pressure of your circulation, and pressure, as I mentioned, is very much associated with the the excretion of the of our within the circulation. Okay, same goes with lactic acids, the acid base. Okay, lactic acid produced by the integumentary system. Okay, okay, we're also responsible in regulating acid-base balance, hence excreted through the urine, and also urea in sweat. Okay, so the substances that in the urine, okay, is also the same the substances in the sweats. And then next one is digestive system: water, salt, carbon dioxide, lipids, bile pigments, cholesterol and other metabolic waste, and food residue. So yeah, you can find information in the internet, how the digestive system will influence the excretion. Okay, and the same goes with the urinary system. So metabolic waste, toxins, drug, hormones, salts, okay, acidity, pH will resemble the acidity, okay, and then water itself. Okay, see, these are the factors that triggered by the urinary system to perform excretion activity, the process, excretion process. So that's that, filtration and kidney. Now the next one, let's go into the anatomy of kidney. Okay, the expected learning outcome of this part is you must be able to describe the location and general appearance of the kidney. Identify the external and internal features of the kidney. Trace the flow of blood through kidney. Okay, the passage that the blood flow through kidney, you must be able to know that. And then trace the flow of fluids through the renal tubules. So this is the anatomy of the your urinary organ. Okay, if you notice, the one that is in the right is slightly lower compared to the left. It's always been like that. So yeah, you must be able to name the anatomy. The diaphragm. This is the human diaphragm. Okay, so the right kidney is actually just behind the the 11 and the 12 ribs. Okay. While this is a posterior view, whilst for the one that is in left is located behind the 11 and 12 ribs, whilst for the left, the one that in the right is located just just in front of the 12 ribs. Okay, it's slightly in front. It's located behind our torso, part of our torso. Is in front of these two ribs. So there is an adrenal gland on top of the kidney. Okay, renal artery, renal vein. Okay, renal artery and renal vein. To attach or branches through from the aorta and inferior vena cava. Okay, this is the aorta and also inferior vena cava. So you filtrate here. So one is used the aorta. Okay, sorry, the inferior vena cava. So go to the kidney and filter, and then go back to the aorta. And then ureter. Okay, the ureter is a tube between the renal and the to the urinary bladder. So this is the urinary bladder, and urethra. Urethra is where a woman is just short, and for men it's a bit longer. The urethra is way longer. So these are the urinary system, which consists of 6 organs: 2 kidneys, 2 ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. So these are the main 6 organ in urinary system. So shape of the kidney is about the size of a bar of bar soap. Okay, just as small as that, and it located lateral surface of is convex and medial is concave with a slit called hilum. Okay, I'm going to show you the picture later. This is a hilum. Okay, concave. So lateral surface, lateral, outside is convex, and medial is concave with a slit called hilum. So the hilum will receive renal nerves, blood vessels, and lymphatic, and also urethra. So this part is hilum. This part is hilum that receive nerves, renal artery, renal vena. Okay. All the blood vessels, and also lymphatic, and also ureter. And then 3 protective connective tissue that covers the kidney is renal fascia. Okay, renal fascia that covers outside of the kidney. Okay, renal fascia, perirenal fat capsule, a cushions kidney and holds into the place. It seems like pleura, visceral pleura in the your lung. So that same function here, but for your kidney, organs of kidney. So parietal fat capsule is wheel cushion that surrounds everything outside of the kidney. Okay, there's a visceral fat that's cushioning your kidney. So the function is to, of course, to cushion the kidneys and hold into its place. So the name of that visceral fat is perirenal fat capsule. And then fibrous capsule, enclosed kidney protecting from trauma and infection. Okay, at the end, outside of the kidney, okay, before it reaches the organ itself, there's a fibrous capsule to protect. It's like a mechanical protection. Okay, to make mechanical protection to the organ. So protect it from any trauma, from any impact, and for any infection. So the collagen fibers extend from fibrous capsules to renal fascia, and still drop about 3 cm when going from lying down to standing up. Okay. So these are the pictures. This is the pictures of anatomy of the renal of a kidney. So this is hilum, where you receive ureter, all the blood vessels, and also nerve. Okay, the concave. This is the convex, outside the lateral part of the kidney. Renal cortex. Okay. If you remember, cortex of the brain, they use the same terminology to describe, things at the surface of the convex area. This is the fibrous capsule that I mentioned, act as the mechanical defense protection to the organ from any impacts and infection. Okay, renal medulla, we're going to discuss this later. Renal medulla, okay, renal papilla. Okay, all the filtration will happen here. Okay, in the nephron. This is the unit of nephron that we're going to discuss later. Okay, nephron, okay, filter blood in here, and then all the filtered blood will collected in the renal papilla, and then before it can be, gathered in the major in the renal pelvis before it go to the urethra. Okay, urethra. Okay, so this is where the filtration happens within the nephron. The nephron is the unit of blood filtration unit. So yeah, one unit of nephron. Okay, renal sinus. Okay, renal sinus is the the area or the area in between of these renal papilla. Okay, within the hilum. Okay, renal pelvis. Okay, major calyx. Okay, the number of nephron, set of nephron, renal medulla. Okay, collected waste product from numbers of renal medulla. Okay, is the major calyx, the minor calyx. Okay. Okay, you can read this and memorize. So let's go to the nephron. So each kidney, okay, one kidney organ has about 1.2 millions of nephrons, and these nephrons are responsible for the activity of filtration, and each composed of two principal parts: the renal corpuscle, okay, filter the blood plasma, and renal tubule, long coiled tube that converts the filtrate to urine. Okay, renal corpuscle and renal tubule. Okay, so renal corpuscle consists of the glomerulus and two layers of glomerular capsule or Bowman capsule that encloses the glomerulus. Okay, there's a picture here. So we're gonna look into it later. So let's zoom into this slide first. So this is the two component part. Okay, the parts of a nephron, the renal corpuscle and the renal tubule. So renal corpuscle, and then the next one of renal corpuscle, the next part is the capsular space, okay, that separates the two layers of Bowman capsule. So this is the anatomy of the capsule, corpuscle, renal corpuscle. This is the capsule, the filtration part, the first part. Okay, you can read this through, and then So we'll come to here, efferent arteriole. Okay. So filter in the capsule, corpuscle, renal corpuscle. Okay. Then blood, the filtered blood we collect in here. Okay, filtered. Okay, filtered blood and waste go outside of the proximal convoluted tubule. So filtered is going here. Okay, all the wastes go to hit this way, while the filtered blood will go to this efferent arteriole. These are the nephron, vascular pole, side of the corpuscle where the efferent arteriole enters the corpuscle and efferent arteriole leaves. Okay. So vascular pole, the side of the corpuscle where the efferent arteriole enters the corpuscle, and the efferent arterioles, vascular pole. This part. Okay. Vascular pole. And then urinary pole is the opposite side of the corpuscle. Okay, urinary pole is the opposite side of the corpuscle where the renal tubules begin. This part. Okay. Urinary pole, the opposite side of the corpuscle, the opposite side of the vascular pole. Okay, two poles. Renal, uriniferous tubule or renal tubule or uriniferous tubule, a duct that leads away from the glomerular capsule and end at the tip of the medullary pyramid. Okay, end of the medullary pyramid means end of here. Here, end of the medullary pyramid. It's here, the end of the pyramid. This whole thing is pyramid. We call it renal pyramid. The glomerular capillaries, also like the alveolus capillary, it only can allow one cells of red blood cells to pass through. So it will make the filtration process more efficient. Okay. Tubule. It's in here. And then the renal duct divided into 4 regions. Okay, it's from here. Trying to find the picture. Yeah, it's here. So renal tubule. So this is the capsule just now. So the other side, the other pole, renal pole. Renal corpuscle, the capsule. Okay, the renal corpuscle consists of 2, the renal capsule, the capsule itself, and glomerulus. Glomerulus is where the filtration, it's actually the capillary that fills the capsules. That's what we call it as the glomerulus. They're actually the capillary itself. Okay. So this is where it's located. So the capsule and all the tubes, the channel, everything. Okay, till to the calyx, so renal calyx, okay, to collect all the waste in here. Okay, and I mean, whilst the excretion, okay, pass through all the loops, all the nephron loops, ascending, descending. Okay, the process of reabsorption, okay, reabsorption after it filtered in the glomerulus, okay, will happen here as well. Okay, so filtration happens in 2 parts. Okay, the part in the glomerulus and also, okay, within the loops. Okay, it will happen here and also here. Okay, the first stage of filtration will happen here, and then the secondary absorption, reabsorption, it will happen in here. Okay. And then, okay, and then will be all the waste, okay, will be collected in here before it gets excreted from our body. So this is how it looks like in real. Looks like a bunch of, strand, right? So it's really long. It's pretty long. Okay, carry this through. Okay. Cortical and juxtamedullary nephron. Okay. I'm going to stop till here to your information and continue this in other part of this series, okay, of this topic. Cortical and juxtamedullary nephron. So the cortical nephron, okay, this one, cortical nephron is this part. It's 80% of all nephrons. Nephrons is the pyramid things. Nephron. In one pyramid, it consists of, many units of filtration, which is nephron. Nephron is individual unit of filtration. 85% of all nephrons consists of cortical nephrons, all the capillaries, and short nephron loops. Okay, short nephron loops. Okay, the loop in here. Okay, follow my cursor. Okay, and an efferent atrial branch into the peritubular capillaries around it. Posterior collecting duct and distal collecting duct. Proximal. Okay, so proximal collecting duct and then distal collecting duct. Okay. PCT and DCT. Juxtamedullary nephron, okay, is located slightly below, I would say, okay, slightly below of the nephron. It consists of just 50% of the nephron. They're located quite deep, okay, in the pyramid, renal pyramid. Just 50% of the total nephron, and it is long. Okay, the loop is long. It has very long nephron loops. So the function is to maintain the salinity gradient in the medulla and helps burst water. And efferent arterioles branch into the vasa recta around long nephron. Okay. Alright, yeah, we're gonna continue this topic in our next video. Thank you.